It doesn't get bigger than Duke, Virginia, Part 2. I'm Ralph Michaels. This is WagerTalk TV. Guys, before we talk about this huge ACC matchup, in studio today, Preston the Sports Cheetah, Marco D'Angelo, Brian Leonard, Tony Finn, and myself. Any of the services that were in studio today, any of the 5, get a 7-day all-access package, normally $99 for just $69. The code WT69. Marco, Preston, the first game was a doozy. Went down to the wire. Virginia covers. Close game the entire way.
Late bucket to get the cover.
Late bucket, yeah. My number 1 and 3 teams in my college basketball guide, I have the Zags number 2, Duke number 1. Virginia, off a home win. And then Duke, of course, blew out St. John's. What do you make of this rematch, Marco?
Well, my top 3 is the same, only I have them different. I got Virginia 1, Duke 2, and
yeah, Virginia's the number 1 team.
I like this team, and what I like about them, we all know, you know, I've said it in numerous videos, we know how good the defense is on this team. They've got an offense this year for the first time. We haven't seen that. You know, before it was, you know, this is a team, you make the joke, first one to, you know, 55. That's not the Virginia team this year, and they're hitting it from outside. They're hitting just under 40% from three-point range, 39.9. You give me a team that plays that kind of defense, can kick it outside to shoot the 3. This is going to be a hard team to beat, and I know last year, you know, everybody makes fun of, you know, the one and done last year, losing to the 16 seed. They've had to hear about that all off season leading into this year. This is a team that's going to be focused all the way through, and I think losing that game last year is going to be their motivation. Do they beat Duke in this one? This is going to be a war, no question. When they went to Duke and played them the first time, Duke wasn't 100% healthy, had players out. Different story this time, but that Virginia, that arena is going to be rocking on Saturday.
My question to you, if Virginia's your best team and they're only laying a bucket at home, don't you have to back them?
I will.
Okay.
I will, absolutely.
Okay. Preston, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'll be lower. I know Marco thinks it'll be higher. I still have Duke rated a couple points better than Virginia. So, and in general, I agree with Marco in the sense that, I mean, I think I bet 35-1 before the season. One, because it was too many. That was too much value. It was too high. But also, you know, yeah, losing to a 16 seed, that whole thing coming back, like I know you could anticipate the best coming from Virginia this season. I dug into the three-point shooting a little bit a few weeks ago because I noticed, and you know, I love basketball, and I just realized over a stretch that Kyle Guy just wasn't missing three-pointers for a while. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And I realized he also was shooting, at the time, 50% from 3, which is probably going to go down a little bit. But he also shot about that his freshman year, which he didn't have a ton of attempts. But the majority of that, just under 40% as a team, is Kyle Guy shooting 48.8%, I think is where he's at right now. So you take him away, which come March, it really comes down to which players are the most apt at taking a guy away, you know, whether it be defensively or R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson just taking it to the bucket and getting to the rim and drawing fouls or laying it in. I still think the best talent's going to, you know, win out more often than not when it comes down to it, especially over the course of a tournament. But in this particular matchup, for one game, you know, anything can happen. But if Duke takes away Kyle Guy, they really don't have that much three-point shooting actually. And so I think maybe they don't really deal with, you know, or attack Virginia that way defensively right away. I think teams will when it comes to be tournament time. And it's hard for a guy like Kyle Guy. Myself, even though I've gained 50 pounds, you know, I was a shooter. I still am a shooter. But it's hard to get open. Like, if people aren't setting screens for you getting open, or if they're switching, like, we're just slow, man. So it's tough to get open. If you take Kyle Guy away, you know, he's not going to be taking guys off the dribble or pulling up like Steph Curry is. So it's a different game, and I think that's the secret to beating Virginia, whether we see it or not. But if we do see, and we might see, the perception was Virginia almost beat Duke on the road. You know, they're going to win at home. Maybe if we did get 3, 3.5, 4, I'd actually probably be on the Duke side at that point.
Question. Duke played St. John's Saturday and beat BC last night. Yeah. Virginia played Saturday to Saturday, no midweek game. Is that worth anything this point in the season? Or because Duke won so easily against BC, it's not a factor?
Well, I'll tell you what that tells me. You see it almost every season in the conference play. When UCLA and USC would play, they might not have a game.
You play your crossover rivals, you don't play another game that week.
Yeah,
correct?
That's your big one.
Yes.
So, Virginia, it's not there. We all know that the rivalry in the ACC is Duke, North Carolina, but because of what Virginia has been the last few years, for Virginia, this is their big game. This is, Virginia Tech's always going to be the rivalry, but this is the game they got circled on their calendar. This is the game that gives them what I like to say, the statement game or the legitimizer for them. I think the place is just going to be crazy, and the fact that they do have the week off. I had that in my notes. I saw that, and I go, oh, look at this. Yeah, they definitely have this one circled.
Duke was down a half last night. I mean, they finally woke up in the second half, but they may have been looking ahead themselves.
In an earlier video, Brian said, I went against Duke in the second half live betting. Shame on me.
I saw him tweet that, plus 15 second half, yeah.
Folks, a great video. Thank you, guys. Johnny Detroit does an incredible job with the WagerTalk Text Club. It's 100% free. Just text WagerTalk to 33222. You're going to get free plays daily and a $10 coupon for just signing up. Back with more videos, WagerTalk TV. All right.